Hello and welcome to another week's edition of the Weekly Waller Review Show. We've got the lovely Sophie Baker replacing Chris today due to his voice just disappearing on him. He must have been shouting at all of his staff too much. Busy week last week. We had
a good week last week. 4 winners Wednesday.
Yeah, lead choreographer, first time gelding. He got the job done nicely, did it the hard way. Sparky Lad and the Avenger. 2 smart winners for Smart Missile, and Exoteric finally getting the job done. So no, very good Wednesday. And
good day Saturday as well.
Yeah.
Elwood won again.
Yeah, he was very good, back up to the more suitable distance of 2,000 metres. And then Paul Shaler just was on fire up in Queensland. It sent 4 runners to the races in 3 races and won all 3. And the only horse not to win finished second to one of ours. So very good day all round.
He's very good. And we've got a few runners again this weekend. We'll start with Ramwick, Performer in the first race, the first starter.
Yeah, they're all first starters, surprisingly, being the Breeders' Plate. But listen, he trialled very well and won his trial nicely. He's a nicely bred colt who we bought in with 2-year-old races in mind, and to be nice and precocious. So it's nice that he's drawn a good barrier in barrier 2 with Huey sticking with him. Hopefully he can prove the doubters wrong that Chris can't train 2-year-olds.
And we've got another 2-year-old in the Gym Crack, Fiesta, Star Thoroughbreds, Joe Moreira's running.
Yeah, very exciting obviously to have Joe booked, but barrier 11 is a slight concern. We'll have to have a look at the speed maps over the next sort of 24, 48 hours and make a verdict as to whether she runs or whether she waits. We wouldn't want to run her if she's just going to go round for the sake of going round, but if she's a winning chance, then of course she'll take her place.
Then we move on, Tangled and Sambro.
Tangled we scratched from today, where he was also carrying a big weight. The reason being he either raced against older horses on a Wednesday carrying a big weight, or in fact he races in a listed race on Saturday for good prize money. And he's got a good jockey, and also most of the runners in the race aren't even getting their true handicap weight. So it's only the first 4. The others are all actually weighted out of it. So he certainly has a chance despite the big weight.
And in the Hill Stakes over 1,800 metres,
What's wrong with poor old Sambro?
Sorry, carry on.
Sambro, he's third up. He's rock hard fit. He ran a cracker at Canterbury last start, just narrowly beaten by a horse with an apprentice on. So no, he's going very well, and obviously the Magic Man on board is always a plus.
And now we move to the Hill Stakes, 1,800 metres. We've got McIntosh. He's third up. Joe Moreira's riding him from barrier 7. Yeah,
he's ready for the 1,800 metres now. We've taken the blinkers off, which will just help him to switch off and relax in the early stages of the race, and it certainly looks a winnable race.
The Exit, first Group 1 for us Saturday. We've got 5 runners. We'll start with Fox Play, barrier 14.
Yeah, obviously the barrier's not exactly ideal, but she's a very good mare, and Hugh's Captain Cool won't panic from that barrier, and no, her work has been exceptional. She galloped incredibly well with Egg Tart on yesterday morning, being Tuesday morning. So no, fingers crossed she can run very well.
McCreary, Tommy Berry, barrier 7, 53 kilos.
Yeah, McCreary's much better suited to these handicap races where you can carry a nice light weight like 53 kilos. When he's racing in weight for age, carrying a big 59, it's not really ideal for a horse of his stature. He's only a small little horse, but no, he's in good form. He really closed out the last start very well.
Tom Melbourne, he's had 3 runs for us for 3 seconds. Do you think he can make it a win on Saturday? Glenn Boss is riding, barrier 13.
Well, Glenn obviously knows him very well. Hopefully he can see some improvement in his manners, as he used to ride him down in Melbourne. Barrier 13, like we said, does make it tricky, but he's a horse who'll go back and switch off and relax, and hopefully he can come home strongest of them all. He's obviously got a bit of a turnaround in weights against coming through.
And Egg Tart, she ran very well first up and she ran second. Kieran's riding her from barrier 1.
Yeah, she's She's worked enormously in the past 7 days, including an exhibition gallop on Saturday. It's the exact same route that Winks took when she won the Epsom. So obviously it's hard comparing her to Winks, but she's obviously a filly who we hold in very high regard. Gets the gun barrier in barrier 1, and Kieran McAvoy knows her better than anyone.
And lastly, in the Epsom, we've got Coming Through. He's had 2 runs back this prep for 2 wins.
Yeah, last but certainly not least, we've got a slight gear change with him. We've taken the blinkers off and put a set of visors on. Visors just simply have a slit in the back of the blinker just to ensure that he can see and feel the presence of other horses approaching him. It was a suggestion of Michael Walker, and we've worked him in it since then, and he worked very well. When stablemate came to him in a gallop, he really surged through the line, so hopefully that can be the case again on Saturday.
And the second Group 1, the Metropolitan, over 2,400 metres. We've got the 4 runners in this. We'll start with Libran.
Libran
won well last start.
Yeah, won very well last start. Obviously all 4 of these are coming out of the same race, so and all stepping up the extra 400 metres. I don't think there's any one of the 4 runners who it won't suit. They're very lucky. Libran is obviously he's on a sort of comeback trail to regain his form and his fans, I guess, from when he went into the Sydney Cup as first or second favourite almost 18 months ago. He's going really well. Obviously, Who Shot the Barman, your personal favourite.
Sure is.
And the 9-year-old, he's 9 years young, as they say.
Ran very well last start.
Yeah, closed off really well. He's ready to win a race like this, and barrier 2 gives him every chance with Huey on board.
Then we move to Antonio Giuseppe. Joe Moreira's on him, barrier 4.
Yeah, absolutely. He carries half a kilo less than he had to carry the other day against the same, some of the same opposition. So that's certainly a plus, as is Joe Moreira.
And Lifeless Ordinary. Kieran's riding him from barrier 11, 51 kilos.
Yeah, 51 kilos is obviously a big plus. He carried 55 and was only beaten 2 lengths by the likes of Libran last start, so that's a big vote in his favour. Kieran rides the weight well, and just barrier 11 makes it a little bit awkward. It probably just limits how you can ride him, but no, he'll be a very competitive lineup for us.
And the last of the day at Randwick, we've got Dagny over 1,200 metres. She ran well first up.
Dagny, yes, so 1,200 is just a little bit short, but a good barrier, 53 kilos. Joe Moreira, what's not to like about that?
Then should we go to the Sunshine Coast? We've got the 2 runners, My Giuliano and the Rumophile. My Giuliano just got beaten last start.
Yeah, he did. So from barrier 1 he should be able to get a lovely run, and Brad Stewart obviously knows him well. Hopefully he can go one better and justify sending him up to Queensland. And in the same race we've got the Rumophile, who's drawn barrier 7. He's been racing much better since going up to the Gold Coast stable, and he's certainly thriving. When Chris went to have a look at him on Monday, the reports were very positive, so fingers crossed he can perform up to his best on Saturday.
And Melbourne Saturday, they're racing at Mornington. We've got It's Time for Magic running, so 3rd start this prep. Stephen Bass is riding. Yeah,
it's good to see her draw a nice barrier from barrier 1. We'll ride her slightly differently. We'll just allow her to jump and use herself a bit. Obviously, on a day when jockeys are a little bit slim on the ground, Stephen Bast is a very good strong jockey for us to take control of, and barrier 1 is perfect for her.
And Sunday we're racing at Caulfield. Amavacio's running over 1,700. He's been racing very well. He's been a little bit unlucky. Yeah, he has. It's good to see him draw a slightly better barrier in barrier 7, and with 3 of the 4 emergencies being drawn to his inside, there's even a chance that he could come into barrier 4. So from that he should be able to run a really good, honest race, as he always does, and hopefully tip him over the $1 million prize money earnings threshold, which we've been trying to do for. Have a good weekend, Soph. You too.
Thanks.